Hey guys, most of you are probably already aware that the Abyss item got a rework in the new Repentance Plus DLC for Isaac. The Locust damage will now scale with the quality of the absorbed items, and there are also tons of new dedicated special Locusts as well. If you didn't know about the rework yet, then feel free to watch my showcase video about it if you are interested in seeing all the changes in detail. However, the rework of the Abyss item is not the focus of this video. Instead, I want to make you aware of or refresh your memory about a unique little technique that can allow you to get additional value out of the item. This trick can even be used to make the new double Abyss synergy even stronger. More about that later. What I mean is a technique that I popularized on my channel with multiple videos in the past, and I simply named it the bomb cancel. This trick has a lot of applications, but here is what it can do for the Abyss item. Check this out. As you just saw, bombing myself next to an item right when I used Abyss allowed me to create a Locust out of the item while still being able to grab the item at the same time. Allow me to explain what is happening here in detail. First, you have to know the basic mechanic that makes all of this possible. I made all of the hitboxes visible so that you can see it very clearly. Basically, whenever an item is destroyed by Abyss, there's a very brief moment where the item still technically exists on the pedestal, even though you already got your Locust created. Here is a frame-by-frame view of what exactly happens when you use Void, and you can clearly see that the pedestal hitbox is still there for roughly 4 frames after Abyss got activated. This means that the item is technically able to be picked up for a brief moment after you Abyssed it. However, there's one problem with this. You can't actually pick an item up while your character is in the middle of a pickup or use animation. That's also the reason why you can walk past a devil deal when you pick up a trinket next to it. Just a little bonus tip for your runs when you run into this specific devil room. Anyway, this is where the bomb comes into play. Getting hit by the blast will actually cancel your use animation and put your character back into a neutral state where they are able to pick up an item. Hence why I called the trick the bomb cancel. So let's check the Abyss trick again in slow motion and with active hitboxes, so that you understand the exact timing. You have to place down the bomb and position yourself between the bomb and the item. Make sure to stand close to the item so that the bomb blast can push you into the item in the 4-frame window. Then you have to use Abyss right before the bomb explodes, so that the explosion hits you right at the beginning of the Abyss animation, which will then cancel the animation and push your character into the item before it despawns for real. It should be obvious that the timing for this is quite hard to pull off. If you press Abyss too early, then you will just Abyss the item as usual and the item will despawn before the bomb can push you in. However, using Abyss too late will actually have the same effect, because the bomb will push you into the item and you will then Abyss the item while your character is holding it above their head. This means that you will get the Locust but lose the actual item in both cases of mistiming. That's why I would advise you to only try the trick on items that you would have Abyssed anyway. That way you have a chance to get additional value without risking to lose something that you actually wanted. You also have to keep in mind that you need a bomb and that you take a full heart of damage every time you try this trick. So you obviously have to consider if it is worth going for or not, which is usually the case at the end of a floor when you have a lot of spare health laying around. However, there's more to this, because it gets really interesting when we are using the trick on active items. The technique works exactly the same here, but if you manage to pull it off, then you will be able to put the active item back down and try to repeat the trick on the same item after you recharged your Abyss. This basically means that you could create an unlimited amount of Locusts out of thin air from the same item, but only in a perfect world where you mastered the timing of this technique. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this gets especially crazy when you use the trick in combination with the new double Abyss synergy. In case you didn't know, using Abyss on another Abyss on a pedestal will create a whopping 16 special Locusts at once. This means if you pull off the bomb cancel on the synergy, you will get 32 Locusts instead, since you can just use it again. And if you manage to pull it off 3 times in a row, you can go up to the Locust cap of 64, just like that. And let's be real, even 32 Locusts out of nowhere is probably a run winner already. Also, in case you are wondering, all the things I showed you in this video are fully applicable to the Void item as well. You can use the bomb cancel to get extra Void stats from an item, while also actually picking up the item at the same time. And just like with Abyss, this one can also get especially crazy with active items, as it allows you to imprint the same active item into your Void multiple times, which will then also use the item that many times whenever you activate Void. Just like in this example right here, where I used the trick on the Book of Revelations multiple times to get multiple soul hearts with each use in the future. If you think you will never pull off the bomb cancel because the timing is too difficult, I don't blame you. It is actually really hard to do and frankly not really something that can easily become muscle memory. However, there's one synergy that makes this trick 100% guaranteed, at least for the Void item, and that's the remote detonator. Using Void on this item is usually considered pointless, since it loses the passive ability of making bombs not explode. However, your Void will still have the ability to detonate bombs earlier in use, and this just so happens to be the perfect timing for the bomb cancel trick. Just place the bomb down, position yourself between the bomb and the pedestal as usual, and use the Void item right away. The timing will always be perfect and you will pull off the bomb cancel without fail, making Remote Detonator an unexpectedly powerful synergy for Apollyon and the Void item in general. Keep this in mind if you ever get the chance to use this combination in one of your future runs. But I'm still not done yet. There's one more crucial use case for the 4-frame window in which an item pedestal technically exists even after you use Abyss or Void on it, and that is co-op. And for all of you who don't have friends to play co-op with like me, I'll show you what I mean with Jacob and Esau, since they are technically two characters at once. Remember, I told you the bomb cancel trick relies on you cancelling the use animation of Abyss by hurting yourself with a bomb and pushing yourself into the item pedestal. However, both of these are irrelevant when you play Jacob and Esau or co-op, because you can just have one character pick up the item and another one absorb it. In the case of Jacob and Esau, just walk one character into the pedestal and use Abyss or Void on the other character right before the first one would touch the item. That way, one character will get the Void stats or the Abyss locus, while the other one will get the actual item. Timing this in real co-op will probably need a while getting used to, but it is totally worth going for it since you don't have to take any damage every time you try it like you would with the bomb cancel in solo play. But even if you don't play co-op, knowing this already makes Void or Abyss way more powerful for Jacob and Esau, so you should 100% use it for them at least. Anyway, I think I bombarded you with enough applications for the bomb cancel. I hope you find this information useful and can apply it to your future runs. If you did, then please consider subscribing to my channel. It helps way more than you think and keeps me motivated to do more videos like this. Either way, that was it for today and I will look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!
He's the number one, Isaac! God's favorite son. His flowing robes reach down from heaven.